is actually a non-profit organization, and it currently has its presence in 143 countries with more than 16,600 clubs at the moment. And as you can see, the data is on your screen, so I need not repeat that. Um, but what essentially Toastmasters stands for is to give you a platform wherein you can learn communication skills, public speaking skills, and gain that sort of confidence that is required to actually speak in public and address an audience. That is the core, I would say, objective of Toastmasters. But Toastmasters is much more than that. It stands for a lot of values. It stands for a lot of things, and it brings a lot of I would say value and substance to your life through various means, and we'll cover that as we go. Um, so, talking about what we stand for, before I go on to the club mission, I would like to cover what are the core values of Toastmasters and what it actually aims to inculcate in each member that becomes a part of it. So, there are four core values that Toastmasters International stands for: integrity, respect, service, and excellence. And we value, or we sort of follow these core values in that same order, because we at Toastmasters believe that integrity comes on top, and once you have integrity, everything else, all the other three core values just follow. So the order is just as important as knowing these words and in fact understanding what they stand for. uh, Talking about the club, so all the clubs and Toastmasters stand for a common mission, which is to say that all the clubs, all the members are trying to achieve a benchmark for themselves or for the club. And The mission of a Toastmasters club. May I ask somebody from the audience to just read what is on the slide? Just speak it slow and clearly. Anyone who'd like to go?
Yes, I'll do it.
Please.
We provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. That's the club mission of any Toastmasters club.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shahid. So that is the club mission, and I'd like to highlight some words which we will be coming across a lot of as we go along the presentation. So the first word I'd like to highlight is supportive. Uh, that the Just how supportive and positive the environment of a club or even the entire Toastmasters fraternity is. I'd like to highlight the word experience and members being empowered. The reason I say experience is because when you're in Toastmasters, you're actually living the journey, and it is a very hands-on experience. It would seldom happen that you have attended a meeting and you haven't spoken in it at all. So you're never just a spectator, or you're never just sitting back and just watching what is happening. You're always participating in the meetings, in the events, or whatever thing is organized by Toastmasters. Can we please go to the next slide? All right. So now that we've understood what Toastmasters stands for, let's try to understand, how we will benefit once we join the club. So, of course, you improve your public speaking skills. You build leadership skills in every club meeting. At the In the minutest thing that you are doing, there's an excellent opportunity for leadership, and all that you have to do is step up. But I understand that people who join new or are still thinking about joining Toastmasters always have this inhibition that I cannot stand up in public, or I cannot say what I want to, or express what I'm feeling. And that is the kind of confidence that Toastmasters gives you. So you will definitely be gaining confidence, and you'll become more self-aware, and you'll become, that confidence it pushes you to do more things that you have thought of doing before actually joining Toastmasters, and that is truly a gift. Uh, uh, as you give speeches in Toastmasters, you practice writing, and with the impromptu speaking sections that we have in our meetings, you will see as the meeting progresses, You also gain the ability to think on your feet. Um, of course, when you're among people, you work on networking. On your networking skills, you get opportunities to collaborate. And I think one really good advantage is that the Toastmasters clubs, each individual club as such, is not cluttered. So the audience is small, and you gain that sort of comfort quite quick. And once you gain that comfort, it becomes easier for you to speak also. Um, After you have gained all of these skills and qualities from Toastmasters, it definitely shows in your life. It changes your personality, it changes your person for the good, of course, and it really benefits you in your workplace. I'm sure as you network more in this club, or any club for that matter, but even in this particular club, you will hear success stories of people wherein they have gained a skill or a value from Toastmasters and have applied it in their workplace, and it has reaped them amazing benefits. Also, as a part of the Toastmasters program, you get access to a mentor. To want to learn more about it, please talk to the VP Education of the club. Next, please. All right, I believe I've covered most of these, but I'll still run through them really quick. So in Toastmasters, your experience of the club will include conducting effective meetings, structuring your thoughts. You lead by influence because you see a lot of leaders around you and you learn from them. And when you step into a leadership role yourself, you actually end up influencing a lot of people. Of course, you collaborate. You start respecting time, which I hope I'm able to do today, and I do not go over time. I would really love for that to happen. You listen actively. I hope you're all listening to me right now, because if you're not, then you will not be able to ask me questions towards the end of the session. And I would really appreciate some sessions coming. Some questions coming in. You present effectively because you get used to talking, speaking in public, and now with the added advantage of Zoom meetings, you actually learn how to network even from a distance. So the way I like to see it, I know we're all distant and I love meeting everyone, but the way I see it, it actually gives you an added advantage of learning a skill, which is addressing people on video. So you can network globally without actually having to spend the money of going and traveling and all of that. So if you think of it as an advantage, it can really work in your favor. Then of course you build your network and you speak your heart out, like I am speaking from my heart right now. I hope you can hear some sincerity in my voice, because I have gained so much from Toastmasters that I feel grateful that I'm in a position right now where I'm able to give back. And I believe giving this presentation is my way of giving back. Then you build high performance teams because you're in leadership position, or you're in a position where you can take up a leadership role. You actually end up working with teams, and essentially the entire club is your team, and they all work with you to support you in your goal. And of course, you give, receive, and implement feedback. We'll be covering more of this later. Next, please. All right, now let us learn about what the Pathways learning experience is. So Pathways is the education program in Toastmasters. So I would say if you were in school, Pathways is your syllabus. The name of your syllabus booklet is Pathways, and when you open that booklet, you come across a lot of things that you can learn. Um, so the Pathways has 11 paths that the members can access, and each member can opt for one path. Um, so if I have to simplify it, I would just say that after college, you think of which path to take, in terms of going ahead in your career or in your life. So imagine standing at a fork, except that that fork has 11 roads that are going in front of you, and now you're given an option to take one road that will actually lead you to your end goal in Toastmasters. Perhaps in life as well, it would be great if that is the case, but especially in Toastmasters. So you can pick one path which will help you achieve your goal. Your goal may be something as simple as acing presentations, Your goal may be something like getting funnier in public, or making your really serious and monotonous presentations humorous or funny or lighthearted, or just being able to speak confidently. It could be literally anything. So there are paths that you have access to once you become a member. The first path that you get is free of cost, as in it is included in the membership fee. After that, after completing that path, if you want to continue in your Toastmasters journey, and I recommend that you should, then the next path that you have to take, you have to buy it from Toastmasters from the online portal. But we will not get into the details of all of that. Um, I hope I was able to explain pathways. You just need to understand the basics right now. And once you become a member, you can actually understand the details of it. You have the option of using pathways online or in print. And the best thing about Toastmasters, I would say, and the educational program is that it is self-paced. So nobody is telling you that you have to complete a path in 1 month or in 1 year or even in 10 years for that matter. You want to take 2 months for doing a path, you go ahead and do that. You want to take all of your lifetime, you can go ahead and do that. But the important thing is that you are able to align your goal with what Toastmasters offers. That is the best way to go. Next, please. All right. So I wouldn't sort of read out all of the parts, but I request all of you to perhaps Rohan, if you could unmute yourself, just read out what's on the screen, just the names of the paths that are offered by Toastmasters.
Sure. So there are 11 parts in total offered by Toastmasters International. They are dynamic leadership, effective coaching, engaging humor, innovative planning, leadership development, motivational strategies, persuasive influence, presentation mastery, strategic relationships, team collaboration, and visionary communication.
Thank you. So these are the parts that are offered, and you can read into it later after this presentation, because in this slide, and even if and when you get an access to a document about pathways, you will see that there are certain competencies that every path offers. So competencies, I would say, are intangible skills. Something like confidence, which is like confidence is something that gets built with every path that you take. So it's like a default competency that you develop after you have completed one path or every path for that matter. And there are other skills that you can gain with each path as you go. Next, please. Okay, now we're at the stage where we can discuss how the evaluation process works. And trust me, this is my and I think everyone's favorite part, a part about Toastmasters meetings or just the Toastmasters educational program. So the way the evaluation happens is that you get evaluated for every role that you do in the meeting. So, for example, I'm giving a keynote speech here today. The general evaluator in the meeting, don't worry if you do not understand the jargon or the words that I'm using. You will get to know everything by the end of this meeting. So we have a general evaluator for the day. So for example, for today, the general evaluator can essentially should, but can evaluate the speech that I'm giving, the presentation that I'm giving, and can point out what are the things that I did right, what are the things that I did wrong and can be improved, how can I improve them, and this is that instant feedback that I will get for myself based on what I have spoken today or how I have spoken today. And that is the most rewarding thing, because it's like okay, so I'm an architect. Okay, so I whatever projects I do, they take about 6 months, 1 year, sometimes 2 3 years to get completed. And once the user starts living in them, that is when I get my feedback on whether or not they like the space that I have created or they haven't, or something of that sort. But imagine somebody who bakes. They bake a cake right in the morning. In the afternoon, their customer comes, take the cake, just takes the cake away, celebrates whatever they have to, and then that the person who's baked the cake gets a call in the evening like that cake was so delicious and it was this, it was that. I just wish there were no raisins in the cake because I'm allergic. But anyway, I really love the cake and I really enjoyed it. That is instant feedback, and getting that is exceptionally rewarding, because once you get feedback, only then can you proceed further in your life, in your educational program, in your baking career, in your architect career, no matter what you're doing. That is the only way. Only with feedback can you actually implement feedback and improve the next time you do the same job. So that is the idea of evaluation. Of course, like I had mentioned, the environment of Toastmasters is exceptionally supportive and positive. So there are certain approaches that we have in order to give evaluation in the meeting. Um, I would not like to reduce them to the examples that I'm going to give, but essentially sometimes we use a sandwich approach, which is called the CRC, which is commendation. C stands for commendation, R is for recommendation, and C is for commendation again. So what it does is that you don't actually start critiquing a person when you're giving them feedback. First, you tell them what they did right, then you tell them where are the areas that they can improve and how can they improve, because you, even while you are giving evaluation, you need to come from a solution minded approach, to give your evaluation. And then of course you commend them again on the efforts that they have made and all the things that actually enhance their presentation or speech or whatever they did on stage. Yeah, so that is essentially the evaluation process. Go on. All right. In addition to the Toastmasters membership, you also get a lot of you get access to a lot of things from Toastmasters. There's magazines that we have. They come at regular intervals, and you can always subscribe to them. Why would you want to subscribe to them? Because Toastmasters is a global organization, and while we are just in one part of India, there's a lot happening worldwide. So and there's a lot of people that are present that have a very they just have an amazing global presence. And of course you would like to know what they are doing in Toastmasters, because sometimes that gives you ideas, sometimes their leadership or the things that they're doing really inspire you. So you get access to a lot of information that actually if you read and go through and apply in your Toastmasters journey, it can enhance you at an exceptional speed. There are contests that happen. So we have speech contests like the international speech contest. We also have we I believe we have options of evaluation and humorous speech contests, and we also have the table topics contests. In these contests, you don't just compete in your club. You can go beyond your club. You can go up to 4 to 5 levels above your club, wherein you can compete with people from other clubs, from other areas, from other states, from other countries. You also have access to that platform. There are conferences and conventions that happen. Again, we have, because it's a global organization, there are people from everywhere that go everywhere to celebrate the great thing that Toastmasters is, and that is essentially what happens at conferences and conventions. They are not boring like this sound; they're extremely fun. And you get access to a lot of resources which are helpful to your educational program on the website toastmasters.org. Next, please. All right. So for those who are wondering that, okay, or we're getting access to a lot of these things, but how much does it cost? It's quite nominal, I would say. You have to pay $20 one-time fee, and so in INR, it's written right on the screen. It's a 2,000 rupee one-time membership, which comes with a validity for a lifetime. And I like to believe that is also one of the reasons why we say once a Toastmaster, always a Toastmaster. Because once you have paid that fee, you're just always a Toastmaster. How do you ensure that you remain a Toastmaster? You have to renew. The renewals happen on a 6 monthly basis at Toastmasters. So the calendar runs from September to March, and then April to like March to September. So that is the cycle. So you have to renew twice a year, and the fee that is taken is collective in the sense that you pay for the next 6 months that you are going to renew for, and for that time you have access to the resources. You have access to, like, you have, basically you have rights in the club wherein You can take up leadership roles, you can vote in the club, you can participate in the club in a way that matters and not just be a spectator. Next. All right. About the club experience. So essentially, what we have on screen is a lineup of the key role players in a standard Toastmasters meeting. So I like today, there would have been a sergeant at arms that would have opened the meeting, and that person sets the tone of the meeting. Then the presiding officer comes in. Usually and preferably, this person is the president of the club. The president is an elected member of the club, and okay, we'll come to the rest of the elected members after this. So the presiding officer comes and introduces uh, the theme of the meeting, the events that are going to take place in the meeting, and the Toastmaster of the day. Then the Toastmaster of the day, and this role is a permanent role. However, it is taken by different people in different meetings. You have to nominate yourself for the role and a lot of other things that go on to it. I'm not going to get into the details again. But the Toastmaster of the day is, I would say, he or she is the anchor of the show, just most simply put. So that person is anchoring the whole meeting, is hosting the whole meeting, and calls on the other role players as they come. Um, Going in the order in which the meetings essentially take place, I'll go on to after the Toastmaster of the day. We usually have speeches. So we have prepared speeches wherein the speakers deliver the speeches based on certain objectives that have been uh, provided to them by their educational program, which is Pathways. So depending on the path that they have taken, there are certain objectives according to which they are going to give a speech, and that speech is pre-prepared by them at home. They come here and deliver it. After the prepared speeches are done, we usually have 2 to 3 in a day. Sometimes we have more, sometimes we have less, depending on what is planned on the day. Then we have the impromptu speaking session, which is the table topics session, for which we have a table topics master. So the topics master is the anchor for that particular session, which is the impromptu speaking session. After that, we have the general evaluator. So the general evaluator is the monitor of the class, and is also the person who sort of reports every notorious thing that everyone has done in class to the class monitor. Sorry, to the class teacher, which is the president. But no, I'm just kidding. That's not how it happens. The general evaluator just sits in the meeting, entire meeting, observes very carefully what is happening well, what is not happening well, and gives a report towards the last section of the meeting. The To support the general evaluator in his or her role, there are certain auxiliary or supplementary role players. They are essentially the timer, the grammarian, the R counter. Again, don't worry about the jargon. Just keep listening to what I'm saying, and you will understand it by the time the meeting is over. So this is how essentially a typical Toastmasters meeting looks like. I would also like to very briefly touch upon the executive committee. Um, so, like I was talking about the presiding officer, usually the presiding officer is the president of the club. Um, in addition to the president, there are 6 other members who sort of take charge and take the leadership of the club. This is called the executive committee. Together, these 7 members, the president and the other 6 elected officers, they form the executive committee of the club, and they are the main leadership. So the titles, just to run you all through, there's the president, we have the vice president of education, vice president membership, vice president public relations. Then we have the secretary of the club, we have the treasurer of the club, and we have the sergeant at arms. There is no hierarchy or particular order. It is just the way I've said it is just because I remember it in that order. But the idea of the executive committee is to take care of the functioning of the club, to make sure that every meeting that is organized to its optimum potential, in the sense that the best that the club can do should be put forth in every meeting, and the executive committee is just there to ensure that. Additionally, there are a lot of things that go into organizing club meetings. There's logistics. There is you need to take care of the role players, the guests. There's so much. There's PR that has to happen. Food has to be arranged. Venue has to be arranged. Zoom meeting has to be set up. Timings have to be in place. Everything is taken care of by the executive committee. The one term of the EC is 6 months. After 6 months, there are elections that happen in the club again, and a new executive committee is elected by the members. Next, please. All right. So I hope I was able to convince some of you to join the club. But so if whoever is interested, and I think everyone of you should definitely join the club, please contact the Vice President membership, Distinguished Toastmaster Shahid Anwar Rafi, and he will be able to guide you with every question that you have. Of course, I'm here for the day, and any question that you have, you can always reach out to him. There's an application that needs to be completed for your membership. We just need basic information, and you can provide that on the form, the membership application form, which again, Mr. Shahid can provide to you. Uh, yeah, and just the form, and we of course need your money because how else are we going to run the club? So as soon as you submit the dues and the membership form, you become a member. It's quite easy. Next, is that it? Yep. All good. I'm open for questions. How much time do I have for questions, if at all?
We can take the questions for 5 minutes.
Sounds good. All right. So, anyone who has questions? Even the members can ask questions. I'll be fine.
Can I ask a question? Hi.
Yes, please. Hi. Oh,
Yes.
could you please also say your name? I can't really get a hang of it.
I just turned my video on. I'm Akshat.
Okay. Hi, Akshat. Yes.
So can I get someone's personal phone number so that I can talk to them about my if I have decided that I want to be a part of the Toastmasters Club.
Amazing.
So
Okay.
that I can talk to.
Yeah. Distinguished Toastmaster Shahid, may I please request you to put your number up in the chat, and that would help.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I have a question.
Yes, please. What's your name?
Yeah, I'm Mansi. Sorry, I cannot turn on my camera
It's
because
fine.
I have a
It's
very
fine.
bad signal. Yeah.
Yeah, I
So,
understand.
so first of all, thanks a lot, Rubel, for the wonderful introduction to Toastmasters.
My pleasure.
Yeah, I have been wanting to join Toastmasters since quite a long time, but then COVID happened. So I was apprehensive of joining or not because of the COVID. Now, like everyone else, my goal is to build a strong network of people, of like-minded people. That is the main goal why I want to join Toastmasters. So I think joining it now would not give me that exposure which I can get in the offline meetings. So the question to you is, what do you say? What can you say about my apprehension? Should I join right away, or should I wait for these Toastmasters meeting to be held offline?
All right. Okay. I think there's two ways I want to answer that question. One way, Mansi, would be if you don't mind telling me, what essentially is your motive or your intention of building that network? What do you need it for? Is it friendships? Is it just expanding your horizons? Is it anything else like work collaboration? What is the core idea?
Yes, it would be a mixture of everything, like
Great.
friends and work both.
Amazing. Okay, perfect. So I really relate to you because I joined Toastmasters for the same reason. I am a stage person. I never really needed a platform to, looking for a stage, but I definitely needed some really good, positive people in my life. So I totally understand where you're coming from. But I will actually like to highlight something here. All the work that you're doing right now, no matter what kind of work it is, and all the friends that you have in today's date, how are you communicating with them? I'm assuming it is online. I hope it is online.
Yes, very much.
So essentially, when all of your work is online, when you are communicating with the existing people in your life online, then why would you not like to learn a new skill online so that you can leverage that that skill that you will learn, and also just the practice of having a better online presence than before, and actually apply that in your life? Because think of it this way, you or I or no one in this club, no one in this world has a guarantee of everyone's presence these days is online. Might as well enhance our skill right now on this platform so that we have this added skill and we can use it right away. We don't need for another pandemic or any mishap to happen before we can, learn to have a better video presence and then leverage that skill much later into our lives. That's what I feel. Would any, if anyone else from the club wants to add anything to it, please go ahead. But I hope Mansi, I was able to answer your question.
Yes, Rubel, makes sense. Thank you.
No problem. Anyone else who has a question?
Yes, I just want to ask one question.
Yes, please.
This is Chanda.
Yes, hi Chanda.
Yeah. So the my query is that last time I was just participate for I just participate for the election in my club, and I was not selected for any position. Then I asked to my veteran Toastmaster. They told me that networking is very important in a Toastmaster club. So what is all about the networking? It's all about, talking to people over the chat. Yeah, active in the group. If you say club achieving anything, so definitely we are wishing them. If club doing any good progress, any member is achieved their past, so we are keep in touch with the people and appreciating them. But what is actually networking? I just wanted to know about that from you.
Okay. I'm not sure if I completely understand your question. Is your question to understand what networking is, or is it to understand how you can get a position in the executive committee? Because they are two entirely different questions.
Rubal, the question that Chanda is asking is that
No. My question is,
can we campaign or
I
do we
understand. No, no,
how we
it's
can.
all right, Chanda. Please go ahead.
It's all about how we can build a network. It is in Toastmaster, whether it's in professional life or personal life. My question is all about the networking.
All right. Okay. So I'll answer it according to that, and I will leave behind your. I will leave behind where this question is stemming from. Okay, because being a part of the executive committee is not a
No, it is
necessity in
a, I
Toastmasters.
haven't select. I just asked to my members and they told me that networking is very important, plays role to get.
I completely understand. Yes,
So I just
yes,
wanted
I
to know
got
what
you.
is actually networking, whether in Toastmaster, whether it's in
Yeah,
outside or whether in personal or professional life. That is all
I got you. I got you. All right, all right. So if I have to simplify networking, was I on mute?
No, now it's fine.
Okay, great. Yeah, so I'm no expert, okay, on networking, but I will tell you this that uh, I think the way to influence people in your life is to build credibility, and that is when people listen to you. Now, building credibility is like building trust. It's not like it; it's exactly that actually, and it takes years. Okay, maybe years is too long, but it takes days, weeks, months, and years to build trust. And that is what networking is all about. Like, you can meet people, you can talk to them, and you can tell them things. They will listen to you, because just because you are talking, and you are in a position where the both of you are communicating. But will they act on after what after what you have told them? That will only happen once you come with a certain credibility. When they trust your words, only then will they be influenced by you in enough to act on your words. And that is what I like to believe networking is. If I call okay, so Rohan is a good friend. So if I call Rohan at, let's say, uh, like 11 p.m. at night, he will give me over to him. I know that's too late. So if I call Rohan at 11 p.m. and I tell him that, I'm really struggling with the presentation that I have to give, can you help me? Because he's a friend, and because I perhaps have had some sort of influence in his life, and he has had a certain influence in my life, he will help me right away, even if he is in the middle of, let's say, dinner. He will tell me, okay, Rubel, I will help you right now. He'll give me those 10 precious minutes that will sort me out for the rest of the day. And I believe that is what networking is. You have interacted enough, and in a way that you were able to have a certain sort of impact on the other person's life. Now, the key to that is, one, to be extremely patient and just go with the flow. The other is to listen, and I personally put listening on top. I genuinely believe that if everyone listens to each other, we will not have half the problems that we have in the world. So a very underlying and essential part of communication is listening. So when the other is talking, please do listen. And of course, after that, you have to make sure that your influence, or the kind of concerns that you have in your life about the other person, are positive, and the intention is to lift the other. The intention is to sort of do everything to carve out a leader out of the person that you're communicating with. So I believe, I mean, the reason I'm saying all of these things is not to sound wise, or like I have learned so much from Toastmasters, which I have essentially, but also because these are things that I've applied in my life myself, and they have worked for me. So perhaps try start with that. Thank you for that question. I'm going to think a lot about it. All right. So with this, I'd like to thank you so much. With this, I'd like to close my session. Also, I have the timer's card displayed right in front of me. Thank you so much, timer Vijay. I hand the stage back to Toastmaster Rohan Bansal.
Thank you so much, Rubel. In spite of the electricity issues in your area, you were uh, online, thankfully, for all of us. Thank you so much for delivering the wonderful presentation and highlighting Toastmasters for us. I now hand over the stage to the Toastmaster of the day, distinguished Toastmaster Shahid.
Thank you, Mr. President. And once again, thank you so much, Toastmaster Rubel, for delivering this fantastic keynote speech and answering questions of our guests on our behalf.